Welcome, boys. Today is our fifth class for this chapter, the topics, where we will study about mass. During last class, we have discussed about equilibrium, types of equilibrium, states of equilibrium with the help of example. Before I start this class, let's revise few points of the previous class. That were what is equilibrium? Sum of all the forces acting on a body is zero. The body is just said to be in a state of rest or moving with uniform motion. Then you need to understand the condition of equilibrium, two conditions. Then states of equilibrium. There were three states of equilibrium: stable, unstable, and neutral. And then we have discussed about like and unlike for parallel forces. Parallel forces and like and today we are starting a new topic. We will understand new few concept of the physics. And the first one is center of mass. What's the concept of center of mass? The specific point of a body about which so here it is the specific point of a body about which the mass is equally distributed in all direction. This is the point where the whole mass of the body is concentrated. This is called basically center of mass. If you look at, so by using highlighter, I'm going to highlight these points. So here it is. If you draw lines and all lines meet at a point, this point is a point which is called center of mass, and it is equally distributed in all directions. You draw the line intersects, crosses over each other at a point. That point is called center of mass. Now, what is center of mass? Can you balance a roller on a flat end of a pencil? If so, where do you put the pencil to make it balance? Then where you have to put the pencil? Here it is. If this is a roller and you are trying to balance it at this point, then what you have to do? The roller is stationary when the moments from the weights of its entire length balance it. Means when these moments are balancing these moments, then it will be balanced at this point. This point. These are the right moments. These are the left. They balances each other, cancels each other. So this will be the time when it will be in equilibrium. So the equilibrium is one. Weight of force is acting downward, the center of the roller. This is equivalent to one weight force acting down through the center of the roller. This one, center of the roller. So the point at which all the mass of a body seems to be concentrated is called center of mass, and this will be basically point at which the body is in the stable form. This is the point at which the body is stable. So again, I'm repeating this point: the point at which all the mass of uh, an object seems to be concentrated is called center of mass. So forces, center of mass, and forces and center of mass. When we see the idea of center of mass, this one center of mass, will help to understand this statement. When the forces on an object are balanced, it is either stationary or moving with constant speed, like paratrooper is moving in downward direction with a constant uniform speed. So it is also in the state of equilibrium. When you take a meter rod, you take a scale, hang weights to the right side and hang weights to the other side. If this is at stable condition, neither it's moving in up or the other side is not moving down. It is at the same level. So this is called stable or equilibrium. So what does stationary means? If an object is turning, this one, object is turning, rotating inside a circular path, or what does stationary means? If an object is turning, when the forces on an object are balanced, its center of mass is stationary or moves at a constant speed? So this is the question. Uh, Center of gravity. It may be defined as that fixed point of a body at which the whole weight of a body appears to be acting. Means we will try to calculate some of the examples. With the help of some examples, we will calculate the CG of different objects. So basically, CG is the point at which the whole weight of the body acts. In case of constructions of bodies of aeroplane or the flying object, their CG is calculated with the proportion and ratio of its body. So basically, CG plays a very much important role in flying, a very much important role in construction, a very much important role in engineering. So this is the most important point to understand where the CG of the body is and how the CG or the center of gravity of the object is calculated. First, you can go to for calculation, you must understand what it is. And it is defined as the fixed point at which the whole weight of a body appears to act is known as center of gravity. This will be the point. Mass of a body is concentrated at a point that was called center of mass. Basically, this is the same point at which the whole weight of the body is concentrated, and Earth gravitational force acts on that point. You have seen so many times different types of toys for the kids. A bird toy that hangs with the help of a beak, and if you disturb it after moving to and fro, again it becomes at rest. There are a number of other toys which hangs, moves, swings, and after certain time they become at rest at the same place which was before the application of the force. This shows their equilibrium position. This shows that that point was center of gravity of that object where it is at rest after moving certain time. So this is the table at which you can understand where the center of gravity of your object is. For spherical object, the center of gravity is center of the sphere. For uniform rod, the center of the rod is basically center of gravity. Regular plate, intersection of the diagonals. Triangle, intersection of the medians. So this is a triangle. And if you move the medians of the triangle, they are meeting at a single point. This single point is basically called CG. So this is basically triangular plate. And after intersecting the medians, so at the center, this is the point where it is called center of gravity. So let's move ahead. Center of mass of a or center of gravity. Imagine that the gravitational force on the left of the picture suddenly becomes much stronger than the gravitational force on the right. Would seesaw still balance? This is another question. What will happen if the force is acting on this side or force is acting on this side? If both the forces are equal, then what will be the effect? So here it is. Seesaw center of mass is still in the center of the picture, but its center of gravity, the point where all the weight appears to act, has moved to the left. So with the motion of the center of mass always remains at the same, but center of gravity disturbs with the motion of a object in this example, where the center of gravity will move or the shift, that will be the point where the gravitational force will act. If a uniform gravitational field such as on the Earth's surface, center of gravity is equivalent to center of mass. So here are some about 10 conceptual questions to understand these topics which we have covered during this chapter. Number 1. Here it is. In which of the following cases there is no horizontal force on the suitcase and why? In figure, the force on the suitcase when resolved, it will have only vertical component because it is acting along y-axis. If you look at the example of a briefcase, if we draw briefcase is acting in this direction, placed along this, and you are holding from this upper side by this way. These are the only vertical forces which are acting on the briefcase, and no horizontal force is acting basically. You are applying up, weight is acting down. So these are the only vertical forces acting. Which case A, B, or C, the x and y component of the force is equal to one another. It is clear that the value of sine 45 and cos 45 are equal to 0.707. Therefore, in B, the x and y component of the forces are equal. If you draw the two component in between the two, this will be the place when any force is making an angle of 45 degree, and at that time you will see that the component of sine and cos both have the same value. Why is more difficult to lean backward? Explain. The center of gravity of a foot is halfway along the foot from head to toe. When we keep the foot on ground, it is almost in contact. If we lean forward, it is not possible to exert a backward force on the foot, and hence we will lose our balance. So it's a shifting of the center of mass as CG of the body, so it will be difficult to lean back. So this is the simple reason. So here is the question number 4. Explain why door handles are not put near hanger. Why? Because the door rotates about the hangers due to torque. The torque depends on hanger, then the moment arm of the force becomes zero, the torque will also become zero, and the door will not open. This is the reason you need to increase the moment arm. You need to increase the point where you are applying force from the point of rotation. There must be a reasonable distance. More is the moment arm, more will be the torque produced, and less is the, if this is the door, if this one is the door and you are applying force on this place, it is not possible to open or rotate the door. But if you apply a force up to a certain distance, basically this is moment arm, and by increase the moment arm, it becomes more and more easier for you to produce the torque in the body after increasing moment arm. So why does a helicopter have a second rotor on its tail? The main rotor of the helicopter provides a torque. In order to provide an anti-torque to the helicopter, the second small rotor is mounted at the tail so that they will cancel each other at the end. There will be no torque produced in one direction. If one stops working, that will be the only torque, and the helicopter will rotate, which will produce instability at the end. It is not possible then to fly over. So that's why the second rotor is introduced to make it balance, to produce two types of the torques which will balance each other, and as a result, the helicopter will become more stable. So here is why it is better to use a long spanner than the short one to tighten a knot on the bolt. So during my class, I have already discussed, if you look at the uneducated people, most of the uneducated people who are drivers, they used to open the loose or remove the tire from for replacing or for changing or for puncture making. So at that time they use a spanner which is of the longer size and longer length. Why? Because they are using the basic principle of the torque, where they are increasing the moment arm to produce more torque. More torque is required because more force is required. You can't increase your force to produce large amount of torque, but at the same time, by increasing the length of the spanner, you can increase the torque so it becomes more easier. So that's why they are using long spanner. If the long spanner, the moment arm for the rotation of the nut on bolt increases, which decreases the required force to tighten the nut of the bolt. Same is the concept, same meanings. You are decreasing the force means you don't make an option to increase the force. How will you increase the force? You are the single person. So the only the way to do to increase the torque is to increase the momentum. So it becomes more easier. And by using pipes, inserting over the spanner, increasing the length of that hollow pipes, or sometimes they have already placed in their trucks to loosen and tight the nuts on the bolt. Therefore, it is better to use the long spanner than short one. Why? To increase the torque. So this one, the seventh one, which of the glasses is the most stable? Explain why. The glass is more stable due to plane surface area of the stability. The glass which have the more plane surface area at the bottom, that will be more stable. This one type. But if there is a this one type of the glass, it will be less stable as compared to the other one. So this is more stable and less stable this one. A girl is seated safely and steadily in a canoe, but when she tries to stand up, the canoe capsizes. Explain this in terms of center of mass instability. When girl is seated in canoe, the center of mass is uniformly distributed, due to which the center of gravity in this position cannot be changed. Center of gravity is playing basically an important role for the stability of any object. This is the main concept which you're learning from this question. And hence she is in stable position. When she tries to stand up, the center of gravity of her body changes, and then she loses her stability and falls. So this is the reason. More you are stable mean more your CG is down, closer to the earth surface. You stand up, you are less stable. You lay on the ground, and the ground vibrates, or the object vibrate, you will be uh, having less fear. But if you're standing, you have more fear because you're less stable when you're standing. Then you're more stable when you're laying on the ground. So that's the reason. So second last, what do you uh, how you would determine the center of gravity of irregular shape? You join the midst of these lines across the corners, then you will be getting a single point in between the two, and by this way you will be able to find out the center of gravity of any object. If you look at now, suspend the card. This is the procedure to calculate, and it is given in your books. This is the procedure. How will you get the CG of an irregular shape? Now, suspend the cardboard from point A. This one is the point A, and suspend it from this point. And with the help of a nail on the wall, draw a plumb line from the suspended. And with the help of a nail, here it is. Here is the nail, and you are trying the plumb line. Here the thread goes along the board. You draw with the help of a pen or any other object line, then rotate it, bring this point at this B point at the same nail, and again you draw the line. When you will bring this line will move again and cross at a point. When you draw this line, move this point and draw the line, again move this line to the upper side and draw the line, and then again rotate it. These all points are meeting. These all lines are crossing over each other at this point. This is basically center of gravity. It is also called CG. In case of a centers, it's more easier. You draw the line, you will be getting all lines will intersect at a single point. This point is basically called CG of that body. If you are having a sphere, draw the lines from the corner. You will be getting a line, this one. And this line is basically this the line these lines are crossing over at a single point. This is called basically CG of a body. These are different techniques, but for the case if you are asked to calculate how will you calculate the CG of an irregular body, you will say we will make the bore at all corners of that body, irregular body, with the help of plumb line. With the help of nail we will hang it vertically, and we will hang a plumb line with the nail, and we will draw along the direction of thread or a string along that string of a plumb line. And again, we will rotate and place B point, suspend B point from the with the help of nail. Again, we will repeat the procedure, same procedure. Then we will move C point, hang it with from the nail. Again, we will repeat the same procedure. These all lines are crossing over each other at a single point. This point is called CG of a body, and this is called the method to find the CG of an irregular body. But for regular body, it's more easier. Sometimes you are making the lines from the corner and they meet at a single point. Sometimes you take the medians of a triangle and they meet at a single point. The point where the all lines cross each other, that is basically CG of that body. So here it is. Similarly, draw two plumb lines from point B and C. These three lines meet at a point. This point is called center of gravity. Basically, this point is called center of gravity where all the lines are meeting each other. So this is the concept of calculating. If anyone asks you how will you calculate the CG of an irregular object, so you have to explain this procedure and plumb line, nail, uh, board, and a pen. By using these objects, you can find out the CG of an irregular body. So the last one is gravitational force acting on the satellite is always directed towards the center of the Earth. Does this force exert torque on the satellite? And gravitational force acting on the satellite is always directed towards the center of the Earth. So this is a central force. Central force of the moment arm is zero, hence there is no torque produced. Suppose this is Earth and this one is satellite. You are not applying force at this place basically. The force is acting from center to center of a body, center to center. If this one is one object, this one is another object. If the force of one body is acting at the center of the other body, this one, then it is having zero momentum. And if it is acting at this point, it has some distance from the point of rotation. So that will be the different case. But if the force is acting from one center of a body to the other center of the body, this will be a logic where there is zero momentum. When there is no momentum, there will be no rotation produced. So that's why the satellite, the force is acting on satellite is always directed towards the center of the Earth. So this force is not exerting torque on satellite. Why? Because torque need, the basic requirement of the torque is you must have a momentum. But whenever you are trying, suppose you are given a spherical object and someone asks you to rotate it inside a circular bar. So if you are passing a line from the center of that football and you apply force on this line, it will be impossible for you to produce rotation. If anybody asks you why, so your answer will be because there is no momentum in this case. So this is the reason that we can't produce rotation. We can't produce the torque. But if you, with the help of your finger, if you apply force to the sideways of this object, you will be able to produce some rotation anywhere you apply force. At the same time, you will be able to produce some rotation. Why? Because this is the point of rotation and it is having some momentum r distance. So that's why uh, by using the basic definition of the torque, you are able to produce rotation in the object. Why? Because there is momentum. So with this, our class ends. I hope you people have understood. I thank you very much for your question.